Hello!
Welcome back. I'm John.
I'm Sierra.
And this is...
I don't like how I deliver that line.
For readers.
Can we do it again?
Sure.
I said Sierra. Like, what was that?
It's okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, welcome back. I'm John.
I'm Sierra.
And this is... And they were readers. So, today... What are we doing?
Today.
Ooh, okay. So, last year, throughout this channel, and just throughout life,
Throughout this channel.
Yeah. We go to bookstores a lot. We buy each other books. We buy books for ourselves. It's kind of like a form of therapy. It's retail book therapy, and I, for one, love it.
Mm-hmm.
But before this channel, my physical TBR was pretty small.
Literally, he would only read a book if he owned it.
Correct.
And he could not buy another book till he finished that one.
Yes.
So he was like only had a physical TBR of one book maximum at a time.
It was a very strict
impressive.
regimen.
Yes, and I was a library-only girly.
Yeah.
So I would only buy a book that I absolutely loved,
Mm-hmm.
or if I could not get it at my library and I knew it was probably going to be a book I loved.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Things have gotten out of hand.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
community is really great, and you give a lot of great recommendations.
Such good recommendations.
So sometimes we just buy books on impulse because we
Yeah.
don't have access to them
Mm-hmm.
at our library, and then you're like, you should read this, and
Yeah.
we say, okay.
And I just bought it immediately. Like,
Yeah.
Devil is Fine. I saw the comment, looked it up, bought it immediately.
Yeah.
That was unhinged behavior.
We don't do that.
No.
We changed over the past year.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So, that being said, we have gathered some of the books on our physical TBR. Not all, but some, because there's more.
Yeah.
And these are the books that we have decided we must read before 2025 ends.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh. The aftershocks are crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just that's why I warned you, because I was like, we're
Yeah.
gonna cut all of
The
this.
first one was real heavy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, bless you. These are the books we must read before 2025 ends.
Now here's the thing.
Oh.
Is she gonna read this year? That's the question.
Honestly, that is the question.
I haven't read a full book in months.
Wow.
Is she a booktuber?
Is she?
Is she having... I didn't finish that word. Hold on, I'm gonna try it again. Is she having it? I can't say that.
Identity crisis?
Yeah, but and that
Is she having an identity crisis?
No, having and
identity.
the vowels all
Yeah,
together really
yeah.
threw me off.
Okay,
and
try
the
it again.
in and I
Yeah.
was too much for my brain.
Is she
And my
having
mouth.
an identity crisis?
That's good.
Yeah,
You
try-
did a good
try
job. Is she having an identity crisis?
Good job.
Identity is a hard word to say.
Hmm.
Identity. Say it.
Identity.
No, see, it's there's a T there, and we're using them both as D's, which
Correct.
I understand is like part of the English language. We do that,
Uh-huh.
but I like it messes with my brain because then it's like,
Identity?
do they have four?
Then you say titty real hard.
Anyway, so
these are
I am
books.
a reader.
Yes.
Because if you're reading, you're winning.
Amen.
And I love to read in general, so I am still a reader. That was just a joke. If anyone's actually concerned.
I don't think they are.
No, sometimes people are like, no, like don't, like I don't want to make other people feel,
I see what
you
you're
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if you're not reading a lot right now but enjoying our reading
Yeah,
content,
yeah,
please
yeah.
still do. Like just because
Absolutely.
you're not reading right now, like there's no moral value on
Correct.
that.
There's still a space for you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Want it to be clear.
Cool.
Okay,
Let's
so we're
dive
gonna talk about
into
those books.
Yeah. I had a lot on my shelf that I was like, I was picking things up and I was like,
Bro.
ooh, and that one? And I was like, no, John, you can't
them all.
set too high of expectations
No.
and you're also going to buy books as the year goes on.
I'm not. I will.
You will.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I won't
Mm-hmm.
unless they're used
Okay.
or like I loved the book. That's like kind of my rule right now.
Oh, so a book that you had read, but you're just going to buy the physical
Yeah,
copy?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not letting myself buy like a new copy of something.
Wow. That's a lot of self-control.
I'm going back to my roots.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of self-control. I've unlocked something in me that has been awoken and will not go back to sleep. So,
You're
do
gonna
you want to
start?
go first? I'll start. Okay. These are going to go hand in hand because they're same author.
They're same author. Sorry. Oh, I did that.
This is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have read only one Emily Henry book so far, and it's Happy Place.
It's so big.
It is big, but they're so easy to read. It's same as like Part of Your World. It was kind of big, a little daunting, and then you read it in like a day.
You're right.
Yeah. we both own this book because we had a video, where we went to Target and bought the same one for each other.
Oh, we did. I own this.
Yeah, okay, what? It took you so long to catch up. It's fine. I actually kind of want to read what it's about, because I have no idea.
It's about people who, like, love books and stuff, you know?
Sure,
they
yeah.
fall in love.
So, Nora Stevens' life is books. She's read them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent and her beloved little sister, Libby. Okay. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August, when Libby begs her for a sister's trip away, with visions of a small town transformation for Nora, who instead of picnics and meadows or run-ins with a handsome country doctor, a bulging forearm bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute.
Ooh.
If Nora knew...
Well, I kind of like that.
Right? I kind of like that too. If Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero. But as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves.
I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out in the middle of that, so I don't really know what's happening. But I know there's, like, a guy and a girl, and they meet a lot, but it's not cute. That's what I got.
Yeah, I feel like you just described every book like this, though. But anyway, that's one I really want to get to. And then
What's
in
the other?
tandem,
Henry.
this one we found in Bermuda for $1. Yeah, this is People We Meet on Vacation. And one of these books is being turned into a movie this year. I can't remember which one. But I want to read them before they come out. So this is People We Meet... Let me try it again. People We Meet on Vacation. Emily Henry is becoming one of those authors that also writes like she's running out of time. Because she released Funny Story last year, and she has another one coming up this year.
That's, like, normal, though. For,
I get it.
People who are bestsellers like this.
Yeah.
Like, we read a lot of literary fiction where people are, like, thinking about their books for 10 years.
Fair.
Like, Donna Tartt, for example, she releases one every 15 to 20 years.
That's so true, yeah.
But there are a lot of writers, Jodi Picoult, like Emily Henry, like people who just write a lot, and that is, they love it and they're great at it.
Yeah.
So I think that there's space for both.
I agree. And what I've heard from the community is that her books just keep getting better as she goes.
Really? That's awesome. I love that.
So I
Good
think
job.
like starting with Happy Place might be tough for me to go back and read these because these came before.
Oh.
But I do want to read them. Like we don't read a lot of just normal romance books, and it's a fun little like reprieve.
I love rom-coms.
Yeah, all the stuff that we normally read. I'm not gonna read the blurb for this one because it's fine. But yeah, People Meet on Vacation, book lovers, 2 Emily Henrys I want to get to this year.
Speaking of buying books for one another, so if you've been on this channel for the past year, you know that John has like been hit or miss when it comes to buying books for me.
Very, very politically correct.
Some things that he knows is that I don't love short story collections. That I had a few on my list, like on my physical TBR, and then I just never really got to them, and so I kind of concluded they're not for me. And then he turns around and buys me one. He did. He bought me a short story collection. Yeah. And that was Never Whistle at Night by a bunch of people, because it's an indigenous dark fiction anthology.
Correct.
The reason why it made it onto my list, though, is one, I need to give one of the books you gave me a shot.
I agree.
It's time. 2, one of you in the comments said that you also do not like short stories, and that this was incredible, and I'm trusting you. So I'm going to go for it, and I think I will really enjoy it. I just think I'll have to take it a little bit at a time, which sometimes frustrates me when I want a dopamine hit and just like to read a book really quickly. But I think it's good that I'll be able to slow down and read this indigenous work. So thank you for the recommendation and encouragement. Thank you for buying it for me, and I'll read it this year.
I really hope it would be such a good payoff if you read it and love it.
I agree.
It's the validation that I need.
I know.
Thanks. Okay, this is The Spear Cuts Through Water.
Whoa! I did that.
Yeah, this was like put in front of me. I've heard such amazing reviews about it. I started reading it, and then we went on vacation, and Sierra's like, we should read The Ten of Wildflower Hall together right now. And I said, okay, I did just start this book, but I'll do it for the vibes. So I tossed this book to the side and never came back.
Well, you just started it on the plane.
Yes.
Like, you finished a book on the plane and then started this one, so you're like, I'm not that deep into it.
I wasn't.
Okay, whoops, my bad. He never went back.
Never came back. So I want to do it this year because it's just a standalone, and I've heard such good things. It's a fantasy.
Yeah.
The reviews
have been.
You're
gonna love it.
I know, and it's another thick one, but
You're not scared of big books anymore.
I'm not scared of big books
You're
anymore.
Fine.
And I've heard such good things, so I need to get to it. Mm-hmm. That's The Spirit Cuts Through Water, Simon Jimenez. Read it with me. Yeah.
Nice. So this was a book that was mentioned in our last video that John loved. And as he was describing it, I was like, oh, I need to replace some of the books on my TBR with this one because I think this is a perfect book for me. Wow. I didn't know you felt this way.
I do.
It's Trust by Hernan Diaz.
Indeed.
Great. We described it in our last video, essentially 1920s, looking at the people who are allowing for the lavishness to happen, and looking at the nuances between their relationships and things like that. So I'm excited about this book. I
just feel like I've been nodding my head so hard at this book. kind of starting to hurt. Keep going.
So I'm really excited to get to this. I don't know if I'll get to it soon because it is like on the bigger side. It is also, it seems pretty deep. So I don't know if I'll get to it like in the next wrap up or anything, but I'm excited to read it because of how you felt about it.
Wow.
So yeah, the first 2 books are about you.
This year is the flip. You recommended a lot of my books last year.
That is so true.
And then I went crazy, so now I can recommend books to you.
Yeah, true.
Okay, this is one of the ones where I read it in the comments literally like 2 days ago, and I ordered it.
And it's on the must read for this year?
Yes, because it sounds so interesting and good.
Okay, to be clear, I have like 40 books on my physical TBR.
Yeah, no, same.
I'm showing like 9.
I wouldn't say 40. 40's a lot, but you might have more than me. Because you've had more from like before we started this.
Yeah.
I just started getting a physical TBR.
True.
I think I have like maybe 20.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Close to the Knives by David Wojnarowicz, something like that.
I don't speak this language.
And then the subtitle is A Memoir of Disintegration.
Which is so interesting to me, the
right?
title.
Okay, so I forgot how you guys described it in the comments, but whoever did, it was enough to make me purchase it right away.
Wow.
And I didn't have any nonfiction on my like physical TBR that was like pressing, so I ordered it. And I also love the cover. It's like, actually it's a little sad. Anyway, so in Close to the Knives, this author gives us an important and timely document, a collection of creative essays, a scathing, sexy, sublimely humorous, and honest personal testimony to the fear of diversity in America. From the author's violent childhood in suburbia to eventual homelessness on the streets and piers of New York City, to recognition as one of the most provocative artists of his generation, Close to the Knives is his powerful and iconoclastic memoir. Street life, drugs, art and nature, family, AIDS, politics, friendship, and acceptance. This author challenges us to examine our lives politically, socially, emotionally, and aesthetically. Yeah. So
Our library doesn't have it.
Yeah, I didn't even look, but I feel validated.
I want an audiobook of it.
That's tough. I'm so excited to read this. I'm telling you, you guys talked about it in the comments, and I went straight to the shopping cart, and it was real bad. But I'm so excited. Just in that little blurb, I got even more excited.
No, I'm like immediately texting my friend who lives in a different district
to see if it's in their library.
If it's in their library. Yeah.
So yeah, that you know who you are. Whoever recommended this in the comments. Thank you for putting it on my radar, and now I own it, and I'll read it. And
so interesting.
Right?
What race do you think the author is?
We're gonna find out.
I'm curious.
It sounds like a Polish last name.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But I'm curious.
We're gonna find out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
On a different note.
Switching gears.
Actually, I'll keep the note.
Okay, keep it.
We're gonna keep the note.
We love notes.
This nonfiction is The Promise by David Miguel Goulding.
Oh, This Promise. Okay, sorry, keep going. That's fiction, my guy.
It's fiction. Okay, well, I don't know.
Historical fiction.
I don't know what it's even about.
Oh.
The Promise charts the crash and burn of a white South African family. Oh, I do remember this book.
Yeah.
Living on a farm outside of Pretoria. The Swarts are gathering for Ma's funeral. Wow, we talk a lot about death.
I know.
The younger generation, Anton and Amor, detest everything the family stand for. Not least the failed promise to the black woman who has worked for them her whole life.
Yeah.
This book is going to wreck me.
Yeah, I know.
Why did I put it on my list?
I don't know, dude.
I'm excited.
Okay. That's how it goes. This thing's going to wreck me. I'm scared. I'm reading it tomorrow.
Yeah. I think Jack Edwards talked about this book probably 2 years ago at this point, and so that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this one. It's been on my list for a really long time, which is like all of the books on my thing. Besides, you have so many that are recent, okay? So don't relate to me.
Okay. All
the books on my list.
Don't relate to me is crazy.
I just thought it'd be funny. Like, it looked to go extreme.
Yeah,
I didn't expect you to call me out. Like, the joke only works if, like, it lands. But it didn't.
It did land.
Okay.
And then I got sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going.
Only one of these I discovered this summer. So that's still 6 months, though, minimum, that it's been on my list.
Some of them I discovered 2 days ago.
I know. That's why I said don't relate.
Okay. My next one is The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde.
Oh, yeah! What?
Off screen. Oh, yeah!
It's just been on the New York Times 100 top list, or whatever that was called.
Cool.
And we never heard of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, you're correct. Sorry, I didn't mean to dismiss that.
It's okay.
It's written by Junot Diaz. It is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize, similar to Trust in that sense. But yeah, didn't know anything about it. Got this also not for $1, for $3 or something. There was a bookstore in our city that was going out of business, and they had a huge sale on everything.
There was?
Yeah. I'll read it because it's short.
Okay.
It says, Oscar is a sweet but disastrously overweight ghetto nerd.
That's a heavy
Big
sentence.
start.
That's an interesting start.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The same, actually.
Okay, all right.
Hey, okay, we're here. Mm-hmm. Yep. A New Jersey romantic who dreams of becoming the Dominican J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay. And most of all, of finding love.
It's way too long of a first sentence. I'm sorry. That was really judgmental.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's because they came on strong, so you're getting a little defensive.
Matched their energy.
Yeah, you're like, you want to fight? Let's fight.
Let's fight.
But Oscar may never get what he wants. Blame the Fuku, a curse that has haunted Oscar's family for generations.
That's fun.
Following them on their epic journey from the Dominican Republic to the United States and back again.
Interesting.
Okay.
I didn't know it was going to be Caribbean.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Oscar Wilde doesn't sound Dominican to me.
It doesn't. But
so I wonder where it'll come from.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a part of Dominican culture that I don't know.
Yeah.
That last name.
But hey, we'll find out, and I'll let you know.
That's true.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, a fun one.
A fun one.
Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel.
I'm so excited for you to read this book, because I want to read this book.
You sound like you're in pain.
I am in pain, because remember how you got it?
Yeah, I found it.
Yep, she found it at the used bookstore, and I
snagged it.
She did. For $1.
I wanted to read it too. You've never read Emily St. John Mandel. I have.
Which one have you read? Don't do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
I don't remember the name of it.
No, it's fine.
I see it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't remember its name. It came out like a year ago, I think. So it was a new release when I read it. But this is the one that everyone talks about, and in our comments, like, oh, it's really fun. So I'm gonna read it. I'm excited. It's about like, is it a Shakespeare troupe?
I think so, or at least an acting troupe.
Yeah.
It's also like kind
it's
of
a
like
nomadic group of actors.
Yeah.
We're kind of just following them, and some fun things happen. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool to read. But we follow them through time. So I'll definitely give you more information once I read it. But right now we're just gonna go off vibes and the fact that it's known in the community.
Yeah. Also, if you're not following us on Storygraph, that's a good way to like keep track of
John's reading.
what books we're currently reading, and then you could be like, oh, let me just join him in that, and then
Mine
you'll
is
be like
so chaotic.
caught up for the wrap up. And I'll talk about more. Yeah, hers is a little chaotic.
Okay, I'll be better.
Yeah,
I'll be better. I'll update it more.
I'm also on Goodreads, but like I'm so bad at updating Goodreads.
Okay.
Anyway, I know. Yeah.
No way! I started listening to this audiobook.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that.
I DNF'd
I thought
it.
it was.
But that was a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing that, and I think that's how it got on my radar. So this is The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver, who wrote Demon Copperhead, which I loved, and a lot of people also love it. I got this when we were in Colorado at a used bookstore. So I already like read the whole blurb and did the whole thing. But if you've seen New Girl, I can't read this title without thinking about the Pepperwood Chronicles.
Why?
Because in my head it's the same thing. The Poisonwood Bible, the Pepperwood Chronicles.
That's really funny.
Right?
That's
okay.
Funny. I would never think that.
That's wild.
Because I've heard of this book for so long. And like I also started reading it. Like there's a lot of context to this book.
Yeah.
But that is really funny because you just started watching New Girl again,
I did.
and the Pepperwood Chronicles come up pretty early on in the show.
It does, yeah.
So that's funny. I love that show.
It's great.
Yeah.
But this is one. It's been on my physical TBR for like maybe 3-4 months now, and I do want to read it because I do miss like Demon Copperhead was such a good book for me.
I enjoyed the beginning. I didn't DNF it because it was bad. I DNF'd it because it was a lot of information, and I was listening to the audiobook. And I was washing dishes, and I was like, I caught nothing.
Yeah.
So.
But so far, I have a lot of large books on my TBR.
But you're good at it now.
I am.
Fine.
Yeah.
You
maybe it's just the beginning of the year I get scared of the big books, and then I
maybe start with a couple of like little ones.
I'll get into this soon. I'm already like into the thick of it.
All right, so the next one I have is, okay, I did not read any Kazuo Ishiguro last year, and as like a proclaimed enjoyer of his literary works, how did that happen?
Crazy.
But I found The Berry Giant last summer at
Yeah.
the used bookstore for $1, and so I said, oh, I must have. And I've never heard of this book or seen it. I see it everywhere now when I'm out in the bookstore. I'm like, oh, it's there.
That's
it doesn't have the same
like
branding.
A scientific phenomenon.
It is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same branding as like a section, like a bunch of the books. Like this one is different for some reason.
It is, yeah. It doesn't have that same, I forgot, is it Picador?
I don't think it's Picador.
Probably not. Do you
No.
know? Okay, that's fine. Sorry. You
okay.
keep going.
Anyway, so this one is post-Arthurian Britain, and so it's a different like type of writing that he does. Like he's typically in modern time, and he's typically talking about like a Japanese immigrant's experience.
Yeah.
And this seems to have nothing to do with that. So I think it'll be fun to like read about these Saxon warriors and have a taste of his literary fiction just in a different context. I think it'll be really fun. In the comments, y'all said it's a great book, so
nice.
I'm hoping
excited.
It lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
But I'm not going into it with too high of expectations.
Yeah, because we never do.
No, like his works just keep getting me.
Yeah.
But I don't love them.
They stick with you for a long time, which we know now is on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not like earth-shattering when you read them, but then you think about them for a long time.
And he writes because of that. Like he wants that as
That's
the
his
outcome.
intention, yeah.
And that to me is masterful.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this one is going to be a shock to you. I was on a trip with friends last weekend. We went to a little...
Don't tell me you went to the Oxford.
No, I didn't. No. And we just needed coffee before the drive home. And I was like, well, I'm going to buy a book because look at them.
Look at them.
And this is one Sierra already has, but I'm probably going to get to it before her. No shade. No tea, no shade.
All right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, all the tea, all the shade.
This is Legendborn.
Oh!
By
You're definitely going to get
Tracy
to it before
Dion.
like, no doubt.
Yeah. This is... It's YA and fantasy, and it like centers an African American girl. And I think it's supposed to be a trilogy. I know at least 2 of them are out now. Maybe the 3rd one is. And I've just heard so much discourse about this, and I wanted to be in the know.
Okay.
You know, I'm a sucker for a book trend. I'm hopping on the book trend. Legendborn. Read it with me.
I also started it and left it.
Oh.
But not because it was bad.
Yeah.
But because I was going on a trip and it was too big to bring.
That's fair.
And I liked the writing, but it was hard. It was hard for me to get into.
Okay. It's probably like once you get into the world, it's probably like
and there's no world at the beginning. It's just like the way that the writing was done. It was like a little bit stilted and like hard for me to get into. But I think it'll be good once you like get the flow of the writing.
I think these covers are so hard. They're so cool.
They're so cool.
They're so my goodness.
So good.
Anyway.
She looks so cool.
She looks so cool. The red and the blue and the
Yeah.
This is another one. I know.
Such a pretty cover.
I know. So this one
gosh.
was on my radar before I read it in the comments. But I think it might have been the same person that commented Closer to the Knives. What was that one called?
Why is this so pretty?
Close to the Knives. Might have been the same person that commented this. But this was on my radar for a while. I'm going to read it. It's blurred by Tommy Orange. Yeah. I love Tommy Orange. Tommy Orange. Oh, and Kaveh Akbar.
Oh.
Yeah, love both of them. Mm-hmm. Tommy Orange wrote There, and Wandering Stars. Kaveh Akbar wrote Martyr. Love both of them. And they blurred the back. This is Beautyland, a novel by Marie-Helene Bertino.
Mm-hmm. I've seen this.
Yes. No,
I don't know where I saw it.
It's kind of blown up because I think it came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the moment when Voyager 1 is launched into space carrying its famous golden record, a baby of unusual perception is born to a single mother in Philadelphia. Adina Giorno is tiny and jaundiced, but she reaches for warmth and light. As a child, she recognizes that she is different. She possesses knowledge of a faraway planet. The arrival of a fax machine enables her to contact her extraterrestrial relatives. Crazy. Beings who have sent her to report on the oddities of Earthlings. We have a lot of those. For years, as she moves through the world and makes a life for herself among humans, she dispatches transmissions on the terrors and surprising joys of their existence.
It's going to be so
this
philosophical.
Is right up my alley.
You're going to love this. That's not like a 5-star for that it's written well.
Then, at a precarious moment, a beloved friend urges Adina to share her messages with the world. Is there a chance she is not alone? Guys.
If the prose is good, game over. That's
or if it's funny.
Oh, true.
Yeah. This has been on my radar for a while. Loved the cover. Mm-hmm. I feel like I kind of knew the premise at some point, and maybe that's why it stuck in my brain. But somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, Beautyland was one of my favorites from last year," and I said, "Sold." You say less, actually.
Yeah. So I really wanted to read a Toni Morrison this year.
Oh.
Because I read my first one last year.
Yes.
And it didn't make my top 10.
That's not true. You had read Receipts of Thief.
It's true.
Anyway, but keep going. You did read Sula last year.
But you're so right,
which
though.
is a bigger one, a more known one.
But I get it.
Yeah.
You're, like, I was wrong.
It's okay.
Yeah. So this is one I picked up. I don't know when I got this book, to be honest.
I think you got it at the used bookstore in Bermuda.
But it's so well...
Most of them were, dude. Yeah.
We're getting to the point of exhaustion where we stop finishing sentences, and I'm sorry to the audience, because that means that, like...
Oh, yeah, you didn't say anything there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, my bad. She was going to say most of them were...
I don't know. That's the thing. If I can't think of the word, he knows.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say it.
Oh, she was saying because she's
like,
surprised at how
pristine.
good of quality this is kept in, and I was like, most of them were kept very well.
But see how many words he had to use for that? I didn't have to use them. I could just be like, look how it's so well. And he goes, yeah, most of them were.
Why use much word when few word do trick?
Boom.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paradise is another Toni Morrison, one of the best writers I've read. It's, I'm not going to read it. Do you want to read it?
Mm-mm.
Just for the reaction for the camera?
Oh, no.
I don't even know if I can talk about what this book is about yet. There's like a lot going on in the back that I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, we'll just have her read it and get back to it.
Yeah, it's about Black stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of Toni Morrison's books usually are.
Yeah.
And they're so good.
And I think it's going to be unhinged and really good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually going to talk about the book that isn't with me here. It's in my car, but the car is so far away. In the whole strain of reading things on my physical TBR, if you remember last year, I read the first Red Rising book.
Oh, right.
And then
Got chills.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, it's a scary book.
And
and
Does
then
your body do that, though? Doesn't your body just do that sometimes?
Yeah,
like a lot.
Okay. Anyway, in the middle of the second book, I kind of took a break, which is strange for me because I usually don't stop in the middle of books. So I put it away and I said, I'll be back. I'll see you later. And then I came back. So I read Golden Sun, just finished it, actually loved it. Now I'm in the middle of Morning Star.
The blue one.
The blue one. It's the third and final one of the original trilogy. There's other books. Maybe I'll read them, maybe I won't. Future John.
A new one's coming out this year.
Correct. Yeah. And I'm enjoying it. If you don't know what Red Rising is about, it's a sci-fi dystopia where society is stratified based on color. So like every color has their specific role that they play in society. Red's at the bottom, gold's at the top. Reds are like the laborers, like the physical laborers. There's like yellows, which are like doctors, medicine, things like that. There's blues, which are like they navigate ships. There's like pinks, which are kind of like people meant for pleasure, and then gold's at the top, and they're like the leaders. They own planets. They own like all these things. They're like the peak humanity, and it's kind of like Space Hunger Games in a way.
Yeah.
So I got back into it, and I am now loving it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay.
This is, if you have been here since the very beginning, you know I love...
Oh, keep going. Sorry.
It's okay. See, like, I wouldn't have to tell the story on a normal day, but I'm going to tell it for you.
Please.
But in his mind, he's like, I now know the whole story, and that's okay.
Yep.
So I love Claudia Pinedo.
Yeah.
She is an author from Argentina who, like, kind of is pretty big there now. I don't know, like, about within the country, actually, but, like, when I looked her up, it's, like, this foremost Argentine writer. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. She typically writes mystery / maybe thriller, like, dabbles in that. The book I read was A Little Luck by Claudia Pinedo. And it was essentially this story about a woman who's going back to her hometown after living in the U.S. for a long time. And it wrecked me. It pulled me out of my reading slump and, like, breathed life into my reading again.
Wow.
That's December.
Heavy praise.
Yes, not this past December, the December before.
Yeah,
December 2023. Yeah. I don't know what it is, guys. Anyway, when I was at a used bookstore in Portland, I was like, I need to get my hand on a used book of hers because her work is not, like, really easily accessible to us.
Yeah.
And I found A Crack in the Wall, and it says... An angry man, a body on a building site, secrets and lies in Buenos Aires are about to crack wide open. Don't know what it's about. But it says Argentina's best-selling crime author.
Yeah.
So that's typically what she writes.
Yeah.
So I got to read, like, her one-off that she like isn't in her genre. But I'm really excited to get into something that is actually her. And I can't believe I didn't read a Claudia Pinedo last year. So I'm going to have to get into this and see what I think about her as an author. I might not like it at all.
That's true.
But then I'll reread her other one and fall in love with her all over again.
Yeah.
So.
Someone in the comments was talking about Claudia Pinedo the other day. And
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, I know Sierra's read A Little Luck. They mentioned, I think, Elena Knows, which, yeah.
I totally forgot she was Elena Knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the yellow cover.
Yeah, people. That's like a really big one of hers.
Yeah, that's what she blew up with first. I think
so.
And then A Little Luck was like after that, but I think A Little Luck was just so stellar.
Yeah. So I want to get into it. I'm still shocked, honestly, that I haven't read any Claudia Pinedo. So.
I'm pretty sad because I have no one to talk to about.
I'm sorry.
With it, like
I'll get there.
Nobody knows.
Elena knows.
Elena does, and I tried to buy it in Spanish. Couldn't find it for like less than $40 on Amazon.
Ooh, that's a good goal to be able to read a book in Spanish by the end of this year.
Let's do it.
Okay. Cool. My next book. Bear with me.
Baron. Oh.
Iron Flame, Rebecca Yarros.
I should have put Fourth Wing on here.
Honestly, don't.
Oh.
Because I don't even think you can read it.
But you bought it for me.
I did. That was one of our first videos. I bought I bought Fourth Wing for both of us. It's really golden book, so I just thought of golden. Anyway.
No.
I read Fourth Wing last year near the end, and it was fun. That's all I'm going to say. I wanted more dragons. I wanted more dragon talking, dragon connection, dragon fighting.
Less love triangle?
Less love triangle, less miscommunication.
Ugh,
and I've heard
I hate that trope.
I've heard that this book is more of that, and the third book either comes out really soon or is already out by the time this video is out. And listen, I need closure in my books. That's why I'm doing this. I'm going to read this one. I'm going to read the third one. She's fine. Yeah. I'm not. It feels like DNFing to me sometimes.
No, Borges and Cortázar trained me.
That's fair. Yeah. It feels like DNFing to stop in a series. So, like, sometimes I'll avoid starting a series because I will feel gross being, like, stuck in the middle of it. That's why I'm back in Red Rising.
Understood. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We're different in that way.
Correct. So, Iron Flame, it's big. And people have said the second one is worse. Other people have actually
said it's better.
Yeah, have said it's better.
Been mixed.
Which, thank the Lord, because I needed that reassurance. Because I was like, if it's gonna just be downhill from here, I'm gonna struggle. Okay. And they're thick books.
Oh, the writing is way smaller than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. So Violet is our main character, and she's the classic, like, I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be an academic, but now I'm like the best dragon writer kind of girl. And she falls in love with like a childhood friend named Zayden, who's like the bad boy. He's got dark magical powers, all that stuff. And like there's a little bit of smut in the first one. She does have like a really cool,
So little?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like other books, like I feel like ACOTAR would be out here just like
We just never read it. So
I don't know.
We can't compare it.
You're right.
But it's open door for sure.
Yeah, open door.
but not for very long.
Correct.
Okay.
So the dragon connection is so cool. I'll give it that.
This book has been on my radar for so long.
And your physical TBR for a little bit.
And my physical TBR, I don't even know how long. I don't even know when I got that book. Probably for $1. And then I read the poem based off this book 4 years ago with a student. And I was like, Maya Angelou's so good at what she does.
Thank you. You know.
No, I gotta set it up.
That was good, yeah.
I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is like a book that I've been wanting to get to for a very long time. It is, this says, here's a book as joyous and painful, as mysterious and memorable as childhood itself. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings captures the longing of lonely children, the brute insult of bigotry, and the wonder of words that can make the world right. Maya Angelou's debut memoir is a modern American classic beloved worldwide. So I'm really excited to get to this one.
Wow.
I honestly didn't realize it was a memoir.
Here we are.
But yeah, so this has been on my TBR, and I just wanted to read more of her works because I feel like she's also foundational, similarly to Toni Morrison.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Nice.
I feel like I'm really excited about this list.
We have some really good books that we already own. I feel like I can't say that because I did just buy 2. But the judgment was heavy.
Yay. I did what I intended. Oh, it's so pretty. You just bought that.
Hold on.
Oh, but it's Book of Months.
Her sister was a witch.
She came down in the bubble.
Okay, this is called Isaac's Song by Daniel Black. I got baited on Instagram. Like they really got me. They said, "Hey, get a book and a free hat." And I said, "Free hat
for $5? A book and a hat."
So that's how I got Dark Matter. And then in my inbox, in my email, I was like, "Hey, it's time for your next book. You want it?" And I said, "Let me look at it. Let me see what they got." I saw this one. It has really good ratings from like the community.
That's great.
And I was like, you know what? I do want one more.
That's book. Like a cover I would love.
Right,
to have.
and this is how you get sucked in. This is how they get me. Book of the month, sponsor us, and then I promise I'll talk better about you. But I do love you. They do have some really good options, I'll say that, me trying to cover myself.
Yeah, just in case we get a sponsor.
Backtracking. Okay, Isaac's song, Daniel Black. Don't know what it's about, so let me real quick read it. Isaac is at a crossroads in his young life. Growing up in Missouri, the son of a caustic, hard-driving father, he was conditioned to suppress his artistic pursuits and physical desires. But now, in late 80s Chicago, Isaac has finally carved out a life of his own and built up the courage to seek out a community. Yet, just as he begins to embrace who he is, two social catalysts, the AIDS crisis and Rodney King's attack, collectively extinguish his hard-earned joy. At a therapist's encouragement, Isaac begins to write down his story. As he taps into his creative energy, he commences a journey back to his family, his ancestral home in Arkansas, and the inherited trauma of the past. But a surprise discovery will either unlock the truths he's seeking or threaten to derail the life he's fought so hard to claim. So, it's going to be heavy, I just realized.
For sure.
But, like, the average rating was... like something, it was like 4.3 or something like that.
That's great.
Yeah, so I went for it and we'll get into it. They're gonna keep, Book of the Month is gonna keep being like, hey, when you ready for your next book? And I'm gonna keep saying yes.
You're gonna love this book.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So my TBR is gonna continue to grow.
Unless
in that
the
way.
writing is like not the prose that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like if if it's hard for you to get through it, but I think content wise, it's gonna be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are the books. If any of you guys have interacted with any of the books we mentioned, let us know in the comments, like what you thought about them.
I think our community has read every book.
Probably all of them.
Yeah.
And the community keeps growing. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
We're excited for this reading month, this reading year. And yeah, like I said, keep up with us on Storygraph. Mine is pretty more tame now than it used to be.
Yeah.
I'll
let you know.
Okay.
I just started dissertation this month. So I'll like get a handle on my schedule probably starting next week. So once we're in February, I'll let you know like what my reading is like and how I'm feeling.
And you'll be with us the whole time, so we'll keep you posted
I'll let you
on
know.
the journey. Yeah, we're excited for the next reading year. It's okay. Just a little scratch. But thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
See ya. I had the urge